what are the honest 3 hacks I personally used to eventually land up to a salary of a crore by the time I was 29. Then hi, welcome to my channel. On my channel I talk about all things MBA, all things consulting and all things skills, especially in your early years whenever I'm on a chai break. And in this video I'm going to be sharing my honest hacks through which I was able to move from one salary to the other over the last 10 years that I spent in management consulting and strategy and of course public policy.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
I had made a separate video around this topic, largely around how I was able to land at a position where I got a very privileged salary, especially in Dubai, and I do realize how privileged I am. I in fact have maintained my first salary was 25,000 rupees per month, and I am still working 13-14 hours every day, even as a full-time entrepreneur that I am right now. So it doesn't come easy, but there are still few hacks and secrets, and my objective is to give back to my YouTube community as much as honestly as I can. So a lot of it will of course depend if you are able to execute these secrets. Nobody told me these secrets. I have been a risk taker. I have always taken non-linear decisions in my life, which means that there was high reward, really high reward, but there could have been really high risks as well. So use them or apply them with a lot of your own judgment. They have worked for me. Like I said, I have been fairly very lucky in my life. It may work for you, it may not, but with that, let's directly continue. And if you want me to make another video on any of these points, so feel free to let me know in the comment section. So what is the first hack? The first hack is don't actually spend more than 2 years in just one job in your initial year in your 20s. Why do I say so? I say so because the kind of promotion or the kind of financial raise that you will be getting on a yearly basis will bare minimum just take care of inflation or just a little more than inflation. So what happens when you stick yourself to just one job, then you move very slowly, linearly, right? It is not an exponential curve. You move very slowly with a very small slope, right? It's not really steep curve. Now, when I was growing up, when I was in my early 20s, I didn't switch a lot of these jobs because I wanted to game the system or I just wanted to earn a crore. So if I were to share my journey, and I know that a lot of you could be returning viewer, and I want to thank you if you're a returning viewer because you're trusting me with your time and energy. But if you're new to my channel, then I left my first boutique management consulting role because I didn't align with a lot of morality and ethics with the founders of that organization. And then I left that to join Groupon India. I was playing a role of a strategist. I had a very good time in my 20s working in Groupon. And then I left it to then work in Government of India because many a times in Groupon India, with the role or the designation I had, I was kind of becoming the smartest person in the room. I want to say this with all the humility that I have, but that had become the unfortunate reality. I was not learning a lot. My growth had stalled, and back then, I was 24. I also wanted to make a genuine impact in the society. I wanted to work on ground, and that's when a good employer in the form of Government of India came in. And I know that a lot of you may think that, hey Shatakshi, government doesn't pay a lot, but eventually I ended up becoming a project manager in that government role, and it did pay me better than eventually what Groupon was paying me. Having said this, when I was leaving Groupon, very interestingly, I was able to crack all the KPMG consulting role interview. And I left that job even though they were paying me higher than Government of India. Because never ever, and this is very counterintuitive advice that you will hear from me, that hey Shatakshi, you're talking about money and you left KPMG job which was paying you more than the Government of India role and even Groupon, but I still left it because I was not excited about that role anymore. I genuinely felt I had the gut feel in me because even in the Government of India role, I was about to work next to the chairman of McKinsey India. I knew the kind of learning I would have. So in a nutshell, what I'm trying to say is that if you don't marry yourself to the organization early years, rather marry to the learning, that learning will just pay off so well to you eventually in financially, that finance or your income will just become a byproduct. It will not become your sole focus. And that is what has actually happened to me in my 20s. Which brings us towards the second hack, which is sectoral in nature. There are two sectors where your job, even if you stay with them, it doesn't move linearly, it moves exponentially. 2A is consulting, management consulting, and 2B is private equity and venture capital. Why do I say that the salary moves like a hockey stick? There are two answers to that. So, number A is that there is a very huge component of bonus, annual bonus that is given to you, which is based on the firm's performance and your performance. And that many a times could be as good as your base salary, especially as you move up in the ladder as you're a principal and a partner in the firm. And when you, for example, become a partner in the firm, then you're literally holding equity and shares in the organization. So my salary actually became 3x than my Government of India salary. So after Government of India, I joined my formal MBA, and then after my MBA, I joined BCG salary, and my salary jumped 3x largely because of my BCG role. So BCG was paying 3x of my salary, and that is typically the case even if you're not doing a formal MBA. If you move from another job to a consulting role, they will pay you as per what consultants are paid. They will not pay you based on what you were paid previously. And similar is the case with private equity as well. So if you want to eventually have that exponential curve, right, or up your game a little bit or a notch above, then I would highly suggest that you start preparing yourself, you start carving your journey for management consulting and private equity and VC roles. Which brings us towards the third hack and the third secret, because of which I was able to grow myself financially well and in my professional career as well. Change geography, where you can earn in dollars. I got the best of both worlds because I was not earning dollars in New York. I got a chance to work in international affairs firm, so I have maintained this on my channel. I left BCG to become a full-time founder, and then this international affairs firm reached out to me that, hey, we would want you to become or consider you for the role of an advisor to Tony Blair. Tony Blair is the former UK Prime Minister. He runs his own non-profit organization. And it was such a lucrative role from just learning point of view. I did not even ask them what is the salary that you are going to pay. Only after I cleared all the interview rounds, I was told that my salary is going to be upwards of 1 crore in Dubai. And as a management consultant, you fly so often, you are staying in hotels so often, and your life is unfortunately little occupied as well. So I was hired for the role of a policy consultant for that organization. That meant that I was saving a lot. Versus, for example, a lot of people talk about PPP, purchase parity, that hey, you are spending in dollars, you're earning in dollars, that's not necessarily a crore. But I was actually able to save a lot. And that's the third hack. And I do understand that not a lot of you may be able to move outside of India. But I think point number 2 then becomes really very critical, right? If you can get into management consulting, they become really hot property because that's the creamiest of the creamy layer. And of course, there is another way of getting outside of India, doing your MBA from abroad, but from a really good Ivy League institute. The reason I say so is because a lot of people just spend a bomb going abroad, and then they come back to India because they are not able to find the job in that country. So be mindful that you're putting in whatever money or investment you are putting in, that it's a good Ivy League institute. I've always maintained if you want to do an MBA, do it from top 35 Financial Times only. Otherwise, save your money, rather go on a vacation or put it in a startup, start your own venture, but be mindful of your investments with your MBA. I really hope I'm pouring my heart out. Like Steve Jobs says, that you connect the dots backwards. That's what I'm doing as I'm 30 right now. In my 20s, I was really hungry, really curious. I wanted to learn a lot. Money, very interestingly, I know this is counterintuitive to this video title. I've never chased money. And I just feel just so fortunate that I was not chasing money. I've landed in this situation, and it could go off also, right? There is no guarantee that this will stay, or this could be a downhill as well. But what I'm very, very sure of about myself is my decent intellectual curiosity coupled with my hardship, coupled with my stakeholder management and multiple other skills that I have around communication, I will be able to do well. And that is the biggest key takeaway that I wanted to give to you after all of these three secrets. Focus on your learning. I know it may just sound very cliche, but this answer or this route has beautifully worked for me, and I really hope it works for you, continues to work for me in my 30s and my 40s as well. If it doesn't, I will definitely update you. And with that, I've always maintained, if you need more help to advance your career and your salary, feel free to check out my education venture, globalgovernance-initiative.org. And if you like being on a chai break with me, cheers with you on chai, smile a lot, be happy, relax a little bit, and I'm very sure all the dots will connect together for you as well. I'll see you very much soon. Ciao, ciao.